guys, in today's video we are going to be looking at a flags of the world colouring and sticker book. Now I picked this up on Amazon, as I do in a lot of my purchases that feature on my videos, and I have always been a big admirer of flags. So here we have a very bright front cover of the book featuring some of the many flags of the world from various continents and different nations from all over the planet. So feel free to pause the video and see how many of these flags you could name. But I think we will delve right into the book and see what we have inside. So we have this very bright yellow cover on the inside of the front page. And here we have the content section of the book. We are going to read a little bit about flags at the very start of the book. And then the book is divided by continents. We have North America, we have South America, we have Europe, we have Asia, Africa, and Oceania. And it says here you will find all the stickers at the back of the book. And I have had a look at the sticker section of the book, and they are all contained at the very back, very neatly organised. So if we move on to the next part of the book, on this side it tells us a little bit about flags, and it says this book shows the national flag of every independent country in the world. The flags are grouped by the 6 continents, which you can see on this map. And if I just bring the map into shot there, we can look at the various continents of the world. We have North America, we have South America, we have Europe, there's Africa, there's Asia, and finally there's Oceania. And it says, flags are designed to be eye-catching, usually with bold colours and simple patterns, so they don't look too distorted when they're flying in the wind. Many flags simply have 3 bright stripes. They are known as tricolours and were inspired by the French flag, which is this flag right here. And this flag right here is of Germany. And it says here a little bit about emblems. Some flags include the country's national emblem or coat of arms. The emblem on the Argentinian flag is the Sun of May, which commemorates a revolution in May 1810. And this is the Sun of May contained within the Argentinian flag. And it says here a little bit about colours and what they mean. Often nobody knows why a flag was given its particular design or colours, especially if it's been in use for a long time. but some colors are associated with these meanings. We have blue, which means sea, sky, and rivers. Red, which means courage, vitality, revolution, and communism. Black, which means determination and strength. White, which means purity, peace, and snow. Green, which means life, nature, fertile land, and Islam. And finally yellow, which means wealth and sunshine. And on this page we have some information about flags that are similar. Some countries have similar flags because they have had political or economic links in the past. And this is the flag of Congo in Africa, and it says, several African flags are red, green, and yellow. These colours have become known as a Pan-African, meaning all over Africa. And this is the flag of the United Arab Emirates, and it says the flags of Arab countries, mainly in North Africa and Western Asia, are often red, green, black, and white. These are known as Pan-Arab colours. And finally, on this page, there is some information about competitions, and it says, if a government decides to change its country's flag, a design competition may be held. This is the simple maple leaf design chosen for the Canadian flag in 1965. Wow, I didn't know that the Canadian flag was as young as that, only chosen in 1965. And here we have a flag that was rejected during the competition. And I can understand why. It's a bit too busy. It's not particularly appealing on the eye. There's too much going on there. So I'm very glad that they chose this flag for Canada, as it is very eye-catching and memorable. And I think if you ask many people around the world what nation this flag belongs to, many of them could say that it belonged to Canada. So, moving on, and we have our first page of flags to colour. First of all, we have Antigua and Barbuda, which is this flag here. And we were just discussing Canada, and here it is on our first page of flags to colour in. But first of all, let's just have a look at the map of North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. So we have Canada right here, which is a massive country. And it borders the United States right here, another huge country. And below the United States is Mexico right here. Then we move further down to Central America, countries such as Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. And finally we have the Caribbean right here, which features the two largest islands, which are Cuba and the Dominican Republic with Haiti. And surrounding those are a lot of very small islands, individual smaller island nations. And they are situated right here. So I think for today we will start simply with the flag of Antigua and Barbuda. It so I think it's a good starting point to make. I think this sun may be the most difficult part of this flag to colour, but I will give it a go. And there is some information here on the flag which says, on this flag, black stands for the African ancestry of the people, red for energy, blue for sea, and white for sand. The sun represents the dawn of a new era when the country became independent of Britain in 1967. So already I am really liking this book, given that each flag appears to have some information on it, so I think that's a fun little addition to the book on top of the colouring and the stickers. So I think what I will do first of all is I will stick our sticker in here for the flag of Antigua and Barbuda, and to do that I need to move to the back of the book to the sticker section, which is located right here. So here we have the North American sticker page, and first of all we have Antigua and Barbuda. So I will very carefully attempt to take this sticker out. And that came out very easily. So now we will move back to our first page of the book. Just like that. And now I will stick our sticker in as carefully and as neatly as I can, trying to line the edges up perfectly. And I think that is pretty close, so we will go with that. And there we have the flag of Antigua and Barbuda. So I think it is time now to start some colouring. And to do that I have a packet of colouring pencils. So we will pick out the colours that we need for this flag. So the first colour is this deep shade of red. So I think it may be this pencil right here. And I will take that out of the packet very gently. And let's just make sure that it matches. And I think that's pretty close to matching. So we will put that to the side. And the next colour we need is this deep shade of blue. So let's have a look. I think it may be this pencil right here. So we'll take that out very gently. And yes, I think that is a pretty close match. So I will put that to the side. And the next colour we need is this dark shade of yellow for the sun. So we have a number of yellow pencils. And I think it may be this shade here that we will go with. Of course they don't have to match exactly, but if we can get as close as we can, that will be the best outcome. So I think that matches quite well, so we will put that to the side. And the last colour we need is black. And that is quite easy to choose as there is only one shade of black. And it is hiding in the corner. I think this is the shade of black right here. turn the book in order to get these bottom edges, but I'm just going to do it as best I can using this one angle. So I don't think that's too bad. And we almost have this first side completed. And it is a bit lighter than I had anticipated. But I think it still looks nice. And at the end of the day, it doesn't need to be perfect. As long as we get the right colors in the right sections, that is what's most important. So we can go over it a little bit and try to darken it down just a tad. And I think we will leave it for that section there and move on to our next section of red, which is right here. And as you can see, the Canadian flag does overlap slightly, so that is a bit of an obstacle to get around, but we will do our best. And we do have a bit of a curve on this edge of the flag. And this section is a little bit easier to color, being on the right side, myself being right-handed. It's much easier to go up the diagonal line this direction than that direction. So I will just come down and complete the bottom section here before we attempt the tricky part of the flag. So just being very careful here not to go over the lines. And I think these bottom parts of the flag is the most tricky. So extra care is needed on these parts of the flag. But I don't think that that is too bad. So that's not too bad at all. So we'll just try to blend it in a little bit to make it the one shade. as I say, it is a little bit lighter than I anticipated, but I think it still looks well. Just try to fill it in and get a small bit more color coming from the page. But I think that will do just fine. Okay, so that is the red section of the flag completed. And I think I will move on to the blue section of the flag. So I will just select our blue pencil here. And it is this section here that I will be colouring in next. So let's get started on that. And I'm just trying to decide what way to colour it. And I think I will start. I think I will just start from this end and we'll move our way across and see how it turns out. So this is a smaller section of the flag and it may be quite tricky to do, as it is a good deal smaller than the two red sections. But once again, we will do our best to stay within the lines. And it may be easier just to fill in these sections at the line first of all. Just so that we don't need to be quite as careful when going near the edges. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm just very aware that I don't want to have pencil marks going opposite directions. I'm trying to make sure that it blends all together. But I think these pencils are fairly good, high quality pencils, so we're not seeing a whole lot of different directions. I think that looks fairly good. So I'm just trying out some different methods here. And this being the first flag I'm colouring, it is a bit of an experiment. And this is the first time I'm using these pencils as well, so I guess it's all about trial and error. But I think that looks well. And I have actually ordered a packet of colouring markers. So it may well be that I will attempt future flags with a mixture of colouring pencils and markers. But I don't think that looks too bad for the blue section. I'll just try to fill it in a little bit and make it more even. The markers that I purchased have two ends to them, so at one end we have a thicker colouring brush, and on the other end we have a much thinner brush, which would be ideal for fine detail. section complete, so I will put our blue pencil down, and next I think we will do the black section. So I will pick up our black pencil, and it is this section here. So this will be the most tricky part of the flag, as we do have to navigate our way around the points of the sun. But if we do it carefully and we take our time, it shouldn't be a problem. And I think this section on the other side is going to be more difficult based on the angles of the points. We don't have to be 100% accurate in doing this, but if we can get it as neat as we possibly can, that would be the most ideal outcome. So I'm just going to go along the top section here and fill it in. Which will hopefully make it a little bit easier. So coming round almost to halfway around the sun at this point. And our flag is starting to come together quite nicely. It is quite an interesting looking flag. I think there are a lot of flags that look very similar, but I'm not sure that there's anything that looks quite like the flag of Antigua and Barbuda. it's not looking too bad at all. There are some parts that are just a tad darker than others, but generally I think that's not too bad at all. Okay, so that is the black section complete, and that means we have just one section remaining, which is the yellow sun. So let's begin that now. Once I have finished this section of it, and this will probably be the most tricky, with a lot of narrow points to navigate. But it is my first attempt at colouring one of these flags. But I think I'm doing quite a good job of it. And I'm very satisfied with my efforts so far. Let's hope we can finish off this section without any problems. Okay, so that is our sun coming together. And we don't have too far to go with this part of our flag. So we are almost towards the completion of the flag of Antigua and Barbuda. And I think it's coming together nicely. We just have this bottom section to complete. One more point to get to. I think that is just about it for this flag. And it has turned out a bit less colourful than I imagined, but I think it's okay. I don't think anybody is going to complain about that. So there we have it. There we have the flag of Antigua and Barbuda completed. And I think it did turn out quite well. So guys, I think we will leave it there for today's video. But hopefully you find this video enjoyable and relaxing. And if you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up down below and subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. And I will hope to see you very soon on another video. But until then, rest easy.